My daughter Elena called me a failure in front of 200 wedding guests. She said I was nothing more than a humble gadget tinkerer who could never offer her the world she craved. Heads bobbed in quiet agreement. Her new in-laws reached out with comforting touches. Thank heavens you met Derek, someone murmured, the words slicing through the air like a blade meant for my ears. I lingered in the shadows of that grand ballroom, my faded suit clinging like an old skin, and a low chuckle escaped my lips, not from amusement, but from the storm brewing inside. You see, I am a failure at ignoring slights, a failure at swallowing betrayal, and a master at letting fools believe they see the real me. My name is Marcus Hale, and I'm about to teach my daughter the cost of scorning the man who sustained her for 32 years. But before I reveal what unfolded, drop a comment below. Has anyone ever underestimated you so deeply it changed everything? And hit subscribe for more tales that hit hard. It all began when Elena was just 3. Her mother slung 2 bags over her shoulder and vanished into the night. "You're lost in illusions, Marcus," she spat at the threshold, her voice echoing like a final judgment. Elena deserves reality, not your pipe dreams. The door's slam still reverberates in my skull after 29 years. That evening, I cradled my little girl as sobs racked her tiny frame, her fingers twisting into my collar. "Papa, mend it," she pleaded, as if I could solder her broken world like the circuits that kept us afloat. I juggled 3 gigs back then. Sunlit hours in the dingy repair shop amid buzzing fans and flickering screens. Twilights racing to clients' homes, tools clanking in my battered bag. Midnight marathons of freelance code. Elena's soft breaths, the only soundtrack. My palms were forever smudged with solder flux, my spine protesting from endless bends over tangled wires. I survived on black coffee and sheer grit. Elena's first word wasn't mama or papa. It was mend. She'd perch nearby, her wide hazel eyes tracing my every twist of a screwdriver. But those endless nights hid a grander vision. While shadows claimed the streets, I wove code into something revolutionary. Byte by byte, blueprint by blueprint, forging what would become my kingdom. That fateful night after her mother fled, I stood in Elena's doorway, gazing at her curled form in the cramped room. My knuckles were rough from toil, my wallet held $47, but my thoughts surged with fire. She'll never scrape like I have, I vowed to the void. Every door open, every edge sharpened. I launched Apex circuits that weekend, filing papers for a mere $75 at the county office. 16-hour slogs, crafting tailored networks for neighborhood firms. To Elena, I was merely Papa, the wizard with wires, flipping blueberry flapjacks on lazy Sundays. I shrouded the empire. Mail to an anonymous box, client huddles post-bedtime, funds funneled into hidden vaults. Each deal inked was a brick in her unseen fortress. By 1995, the tide turned. At 35, a massive insurer begged for a system revamp, a $2 million lifeline. I sealed it in a sterile boardroom while Elena dashed across a soccer field. That dusk, I rattled home in my rusty Ford Escort, unchanged after 8 years. She bolted to me, mud-streaked jersey flapping, clutching a sippy cup. "Did you mend more gadgets today, Papa?" Something like that, Angel. I nestled her under covers, reciting her beloved tale of a queen who claimed her throne. As she drifted, I peeked at the corporate ledger, 7 digits glowing, dwarfing my own father's lifetime haul. Yet I clung to the escort, the modest home, the worn flannels. Elena had to learn joy sprang from bonds, not bills, from sweat and conviction. The twist? She absorbed it too fiercely. But this was merely the dawn. Apex circuits detonated in the late 90s. Firms hungered for digital spines, online portals. I rode the wave, skills honed, timing flawless. Titans like IBM Ford, even federal bids poured in. I assembled teams but lurked in obscurity, layering LLCs like armor, channeling profits into veiled estates. Elena hit 10 that year. Her birthday wish, a bike. I snagged a second-hand cruiser from the ads, spent a golden afternoon steadying her wobbles. She tumbled half a dozen times, gravel biting her knees, before sailing free, her laughter piercing the air like victory bells. That week, I locked in a $12 million telecom pact. We marked it with cones at the local parlor. She vanilla swirl. Me plain scoop, chatting fractions and her pal Mia's pajama bash. She never guessed her papa outshone her classmates' folks combined. Then the irresistible bid crashed in. Microsoft craved Apex outright. The Seattle summit loomed on a Tuesday. Off to tame some monster machines, I told Elena, brushing her brow. The execs were crisp-suited youths, grips firm as steel. They dissected our architecture, roster, trajectories. Mr. Hale, the head bargainer, intoned, "We propose $85 million for total buyout." $85 million. My mind flashed to Elena scribbling math at our scarred table. Her tree roll in the school pageant, her piggy bank clinking for holiday trinkets. "I'll mull it," I replied. "Clock's ticking till Friday." I jetted back, finding her doodle on my pillow. "Stick us with our tabby, Shadow." "Love you, Papa," in violet scrawl. Friday, I inked it. $85 million cascading into trusts. A bulwark shielding her roots from opulence's rot. I aimed to forge humility, drive, before the windfall. I figured I was fathering right. I was blind. Post-sale years warped into duality. Daylight, Marcus Hale, solo dad mending tech. Moonlight, steward of $85 million. Manhattan summits during school bells. Acquisitions via phantom fronts. Trades post-lullabies. I commanded towers, rentals, ventures. Advisors buzzed bi-weekly. Accountants juggled empires. To Elena, I was the coupon clipper clipping generics. "Papa, why not the fancy flakes like Mia's?" I'd grin, preaching thrift. She'd sigh, dubbing herself the budget kid. If she knew, I could snap up her school outright. The gut punch, witnessing her forfeit what I could mend. Skipping elite camp for costs, coveting labels but grabbing racks. Murmuring to pals her dad was just a fixer. I rationalized character building, value teaching, prepping for legacy. But gratitude faded. The chasm grew. Yearly, the facade swelled. Yearly, our bond strained. Yearly, I deluded myself righteous. Yearly, error compounded. Elena's final high school stretch brought Ivy envelopes. Yale, Berkeley, Caltech. Scholarships elusive. My fixer facade masked excess for aid, yet pinched tuition's bite. Papa, Columbia accepted me, she wept. But it's impossible. Community college it is. My chest caved, seeing dreams dim. That midnight, I phoned my council. Establish a grant fund. The Elena Hale Innovation in Tech Award. Full ride. Columbia bound. Scale. Whatever seals it, $240,000 for 4. Forms flew in weeks. Columbia's aid call, Ms. Hale, an anonymous patrons funding your path. Her shrieks, tears, embrace crushed my ribs. Papa, imagine someone sees my spark. You earned it, love. Blood and sweat. August, I hauled crates to her dorm in the aging escort. Her enigma backer the loader himself. But campus was prologue. Elena aced comp sci. Poetic, given her gadget dad. Landed a sleek Manhattan gig. Salary solid, but NYC merciless. Papa, Dreamloft spotted, she rang Tuesday. Upper East Co-op needs $150,000 down. Wish you could swing it, but I get your scraping. Scraping. It slammed like a fist. Me juggling GDP's worth. I held the tower blocks away. But to her I was frayed. Sorry, darling. I'd move mountains if... Fortnight later, a state lawyer's ring. Ms. Hale, your great-aunt Clara's bequest. $150,000. Clara, never heard. Your father's kin, recluse. Funds ready. 3 hours forging Clara. Vitals, demise, testament. Counsel eyed me odd. Why not direct gift? She must feel self-made. Then Derek entered. 6 moons post-move, Elena gushed. Papa, my pad's a steal. $1,800 rent for a $2 million gem. Market's double. Ice veined my blood. Probes too near. Curious, dear. Super says Owners LLC prizes loyalty. Insane bargain. I coughed. Might have name-dropped you to a past client. Realty mogul. Really? Kept quiet. Casual chat. She swallowed it, but my pulse thundered hanging up. Veil thinning. Derek Voss, blue blood barrister from Connecticut legacy. Hampton summers, Aspen winters. Elena enchanted, I wary. Not villainous, courteous, sharp, thriving, but his gaze skimmed me like staff. Civil nod, zero esteem. Mr. Hale, first meet. Elena mentions tech tinkering. I patch him. How utilitarian. Nuptials whirlwind. Elena craved perfection for Voss kin. Venue $40,000 solo. Blooms, snaps, feasts ballooned. Papa, hate begging, but wedding shortfall. $80,000. Derek's side chips in, but $80,000. Less than my advisor luncheons. Wish I could, sweet. Another phantom legacy surfaced, from my deceased associate, earmarked for her vows. She sobbed at news. Papa, our fortune, fortune. I eyed her orchestra with celestial funds, masking the dad she edged from her elite orbit. The shift crystallized post-settlement. Elena awaited wonders. Car conks, inheritance hunt. Reno whims, benefactor prayers. But venom in her tone. Papa tries. To cronies, stuck in ruts, Derek quipped over supper in their subsidized nest. Tech skills open doors. He's vintage, she defended. I chewed food I'd bankrolled, in walls I'd claimed, as she excused my breath. Worst, claiming serendipity. How afford this on pay? Pals quizzed. Karma's wink. Karma. Thanks dwindled for my overt scraps. Inquiries on my days ceased. I morphed to duty visit, pity project, navigated around Derek's polished clan. Papa, with Derek's folks, maybe skip the fixer tales. Reception, she swore. Transformative. I'd mingle with Voss elite, glimpse grandeur. Little did I foresee the lesson's depth. Ceremony shimmered. Elena glowed in her $8,000 gown, petals drifting like snow. Venue pristine. I observed from row 3 as she went into Dynasty. Reception at Willowbrook Club. Marble gleams, chandelier sparks. I entered in my trusty suit, crisp but worlds from bespoke tales on Voss' side. Lydia Voss neared, lips curved, practiced. Delightful meeting Elena's dad. She shared volumes. Eyes flicked my threads. Smile held, but pivot swift to shield from elites. Gratitude for nurturing her, she pressed. Though solo raising's trial. We endured. Indeed, she's flourished despite hurdles. Hurdles like my rearing a blemish. My seat, rear nook, card stark, Marcus Hale, bride's father, amid college pals, far kin. Toasts flowed, Judge Theodore Voss rose, timbre courtroom thunder. We toast merged lineages, he boomed. Voss's community pillars, 4 eras. Champions of toil, honor, duty, claps cascaded. Elena radiant at apex. Derek chose wisely. Elena adds wit, grace, resolve, surmounting trials. Trials, echoed sting. Salute both sides. Union thrives on roots, virtues. Gaze grazed me. Curt dip, Mike reclaim. Elena's father strived amid scarcity. Solo grinds harsh, resources thin. Thin, murmurs swelled. Compassionate, eyes pivoted, pity grins. Poor Marcus, maxed meager, Mike to Elena. Words that shattered. She rose elegant, spotlight halo. 200 held breath. Pride flickered in me, her poise commanding. Thanks for sharing this enchantment, she opened. Cheers. Beams. I joined applause. On kin. The sculptors of self. Offerings that peak here. Gaze locked mine across a throng. Heart swelled. My father strived solo. A retired gadget mender, modest existence. Material gifts sparse, but love abundant. Modest, sparse. Room leaned in, tissues dabbed. Thrilled Derek's kin grant security. Vistas my father couldn't. They've unveiled true achievement, enduring legacy. Blows landed, security absent. True achievement, 200 assented. To Voss's, thanks embracing a mender's child into your exalted fold. I'll honor your bar, ovation roared. Tears flowed. Voss's touched. I sat, cheeks aflame, fists quaking on linen. But I grinned, paternal mask intact. Standing claps surged. I rose robotic. As foundations crumbled, eyes bore in. Compassion from unknowns, approval from Voss's. How nobly he bears his tribute. Table whisper, such grace in her roots nod. Roots, like shame. Elena navigated adulation, caught my gaze, beamed, that heart-melter since toddlerhood. Papa's speech thoughts. Raw truth, angel. Hug fierce, akin to Columbia call. Phantom funds, veiled vows. Love you, Papa. Thanks for all yielded. If she grasped, homeward, In aged escort, past my towers, my complexes, my cloaked realm, to shield the child now scorning. That eve, vow shifted, dawn, Derek rang, edge keen, wary. Mr. Hale, query post-speech, Doug, you're past, gut plunged. Oh, SEC docs on Apex Circuits. Marcus Hale, founder, Microsoft Flip 98. 85 million. Pause yawned. Throat parched. Odd match. Thought so. Name common, but locale, era align. Post-sale vanish, like stealth, chuckle forced. Patterns imagined, boy. If loaded, think I'd blend, long quiet. Valid, apologies, barrister hunch. Conspiracy's phantom, doubt lingered. Secret teetered. 40-minute trek replayed. Speech barbs, guest sneers, modest jabs. Skirted Willowbrook Park. 3 structures mine via shells. $12 million tally. 4th, Derek's firm, tenants to me. Maple Lane. Left block my townhomes. 24 pads. $2 million yearly flow. Eleanor in 4B, my Anderson Ventures hold. Lincoln Z. Pulled to drive. Same abode since her 7 cozy colonial veil for $85 million man. Tonight staring at facade from escort. Resolve hardened. 32 years cloak sufficed. 32 years wealth shield done. 32 years pity from blood over indoors. Office wall. Safe behind fixer plaques. Irony thick. Decades docs. Trusts. LLCs. Portfolios. Deeds. Crucial. Elena's gifts. Loans logged. Repayment clauses. Columbia aid. Deferred due debt. $240,000 plus compound. Loft legacy. Secured note. $150,000 plus accruals. Vows bequest. Loan 3. $80,000 for humiliation fest. Counsel Ethan balked at setup. Gifts as debts? Mad. Safeguard, I'd said. Lest forget source. Tonight, paranoia blessed. Each bore her mark. Terms, callable on slights, ungreat. She signed blind. Fresh sheet, gift label, date, principal, interest, due. Columbia, $267,000. Loft, $178,000. Vows, $89. 0. Sundry aids, $95,000. Sum, $629,000. Heaven's manna. Legally mine. Not cash chase. Respect. Revelation. Overdue tutelage. Ledgers up. Liquids $43 million. Stocks 28. Realty 37. Ventures 15. Net 123 million. Fixer facade ends. Dialed Ethan's urgent line. Marcus midnight past. Crisis. No dawn. Prep docs. What flavor? Debt recalls? All. Ethan looked rumpled Monday morn. Brew blots on cuff. Specs low. 2 decades counsel. Never this steel in me. Surefire? He fanned papers. Elena's pacts. Initials hasty. Bonds blind trusted. Ironclad, he affirmed. Edu, property, vows. All debts. Signed liable. Timeline? Demand triggers 90-day pay. $629,000 clocked. Non-pay. Seize assets, garnish, norms. Legal? Bulletproof. But Marcus, daughter route, recalled reception pit, 200 pitying poor mender, Elena lauding all save provider. Dispatch Ethan, first missive Tuesday, certified to loft. Morris Law Crest, default notice, pay demand. Dear Ms. Halevos, EduPack 2010 called. Principal $240,000. Interest $27,000. Due $267,000. 90 days. Phone at 11:47. Papa, this letter? Loan? Thought grant? Voice steady. Best face-to-face, Elena. Oh, $267,000? Signed nothing. But she had buried in forms. Calm, likely glitch. Glitch, Derek unravels. Kin probes, second bulkier, Thursday. Same seal but liens attached. Property debt call. Principal $150,000. Interest $28,000. Due $178,000. Non-pay. Foreclose 47. Sunday dawn. Elena solo. Derek kin wrangling. Tex. Wept night. Eyes puffy. Timbre hoarse. Papa, speech regret. Jitters mangled. Poor Joe. Same cups 20 years. Table of her sums. My mega deals. Intent? Derek's wealth judges. Wanted fit. Humble roots. Values. Humble. Compliment. Ashamed tutor. Hand clasp. Not ashamed. Love you. My papa. Her grasp. Smooth. Polished. Voss-gifted Rolex. Elena, 15-year haul from me? Loans say $600K. Docs only. Cash crises. Car fixes. Boss bonuses via me. Columbia full. Housing. Chow. Tomes. Pallor deepened. Over $2 million blind. While griping limits. Derek brandished suite. Monday Eve. Case brimming. Colleagues concur. Valid, but duped. Duped. Misled status. Signed as struggler, not tycoon. Grin. Fraud imply. No court upholds. Test. Brief out. Battle ready. Kin resources. Ties. To screen. File up. Firm rent. Irrelevant. $47,000 to me. Lease ends month. No renew. Face ashen. Can't. Landlord prerogative. Evict print. 30 days. Condo flip. Partners rage if ousted by in-law spite. Sue threat unwise. Elena tugged. Derek. Halt. Worsens. Lessons unfinished. Career teetered more. Tuesday morn Derek's meet interrupted. Mitchell, Voss, this lease mess. Managing, how missed landlord's tech titan? Firm optics? Pale. Sir hid, due diligence fail. We court giants, expect spot success, not dupe by humble garb. Pause. Demoted partner to associate. Now, lease yours. Don't offend more. Phone stare. Shock. 20-year climb raised by suit blindness. By Wednesday, whispers wildfire Upper East. Headlines. Secret tech titan posed as fixer 25 years. Daughters vow barb boomerangs. Pauper, mender, $123 million. Elena's line ablaze. Pity pals now pitch hunters. Sympathy co-workers eye realty ties. Derek's shop turmoil. Lease crises. Client doubts on blind lawyers. Lydia voicemail. Dear, unaware of father's feats. Redo dinner. Society debut? Society. Wedding snubbers. Elena forward.